Janet Jackson. There's a moment that stays with you. A little girl, 8 years old, standing in a bathtub, completely vulnerable, when the door bursts open. What happens next isn't something any child should ever experience. And yet, for one of the most iconic women in music history, that moment became the first of many invisible scars she would carry for the rest of her life. Through sold-out stadiums, shattered marriages, a live television moment seen by 140 million people, and the kind of grief that never really leaves you. This is the story behind the legend, the real one. Janet Demita Jo Jackson was born on May 16, 1966, in Gary, Indiana, a steel mill town wrapped in smoke and the constant hum of heavy machinery. She arrived as the ninth and final child of Catherine and Joseph Jackson, coming into a world that was anything but soft. The family home on Jackson Street was cramped and worn, peeling walls, thin curtains, and barely enough space for 10 people to breathe. There were no toys scattered across the floor, no lazy afternoons in a backyard. What there was, every single evening, was rehearsal. Joseph Jackson ran that household like a military operation. According to accounts from multiple Jackson family members over the years, the children were not permitted to call him dad or father. He was Joseph, cold, commanding, and deeply feared. By day, he worked the steel mill. By night, he transformed the living room into a training ground, convinced that relentless discipline was the only path to greatness. Several of Janet's older siblings, including Jackie, Tito, Jermaine, Marlon, and Michael, have spoken publicly about the physical punishments Joseph administered. Miss a step, hit the wrong note, or dare to talk back, and there were consequences, harsh ones. As the youngest daughter, Janet largely escaped the worst of the daily discipline, but she was not untouched. She has spoken about one particular memory from around the age of 8, being struck with a belt by her father while she was in the bathtub. According to her own account, that moment embedded something into her psyche that would take decades to untangle. The understanding that there was no truly safe space, not even the most private one. From the age of 7, Janet was folded into the family machine. While other kids in Gary were running around outside, she was learning choreography, harmonies, and how to project joy even when she felt none. Rehearsals reportedly dragged on for hours, sometimes stretching close to midnight, with the younger children struggling to keep their eyes open. The lesson was unmistakable, even if it was never spoken aloud. Love in the Jackson house was not given. It was earned, through perfection, through performance, through showing up and delivering every single time. And if that wasn't enough, the cruelty wasn't only coming from her father. Some of Janet's own siblings reportedly teased her persistently about her weight and her body, calling her names that no young girl should ever hear from her own family. According to reports, even Michael, the brother she adored most deeply, sometimes participated in those moments. For a girl already learning to shrink herself, to stay quiet and smile through pain, those words hit hard. They planted seeds of self-doubt that would grow into something much darker in the years ahead. Her public life began early. At just 10 years old, Janet landed a recurring role on the hit sitcom Good Times, playing a character named Penny, a child who was abused. There was a painful irony in that casting. According to accounts from that period, producers were concerned that Janet